If you have Neptune placements in your second house, if you have Neptune aspecting your Venus in a negative aspect, like if you have Neptune squaring your Venus, Neptune opposing your Venus, even if you have Neptune next to Venus, like conjoining it, especially if it's a tight conjoint, if you have Venus in the 12th house, we'll even say Venus in the 8th house, you have to be very, very careful with money. You are someone that tend to buy a lot of dumb shit with your money. You just buy dumb shit with your money. You have to have a tight and solid budget. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care if you make $30,000 a year. I don't care if you make $100,000 a year. I don't care if you make $1 million a year. You have to have a solid budget in place, and you have to follow that budget to the T, to the penny. Because if you do not, you will find yourself buying shit that you do not need and may even later on regret. Some of you guys might even be low-key hoarders because you didn't went and bought dumb shit that you didn't need, and you didn't, for example, you didn't went and had a baby. You bought all these clothes and shoes and stuff, and you went and had a baby, and now you didn't gain too much weight and you can't fit the clothes anymore, or you didn't lost too much weight. Either way, you can't fit the shit. It's too big, it's too small, and you end up with a closet full of clothes that has either never been worn, or if it has been worn, it's been worn once, and you have enough clothes in your closet to start Fashion Nova or Shein. Okay, that is an example. If you have this placement, you can't tell people how much money you make. You cannot. Your money has to always be a secret to people. Your money has to always be a mystery to people, especially if you have it in your second house where your family is seen. You cannot. Okay? Because you're going to have that more than likely. If you have this placement in your second house, you're going to probably come from a family of people that are users, that are liars, that are scammers. They always going to have some type of sad sob story. Somebody's always about to get evicted, or the car's about to get repossessed, or somebody's sick, and you having Neptune there. Neptune lacks boundaries. And Neptune is that planet of compassion. So they can come to you with that sad sob story. You're probably going to help them out. And then 5-6 months later, they still going to end up getting evicted anyway because they just. So yeah, you cannot tell people how much money you make when you have this placement. Let me take it a step further. And let me say this about this placement. It's not an all bad placement, because people with this placement, with these placements, you magically attract money. Money just magically comes into your life. You're the type of person, you can manifest money easily, easily manifest money. Money just seems to magically and mysteriously find you. You're probably the type of person that can even do anything and make money. You can go outside and be pretty and be beautiful and make money. You could do anything, especially online, and make money, right? However, the dark side to this placement is you, as much the more money you make, the more money you tend to spend. The more money you tend to spend, because Neptune is also a planet of losses. So you have to really know how to ground yourself when it comes to your money. This is why you have to protect your assets when you have this placement. You cannot tell people how much money you make. Let me take it a step further. If you somebody that, let's just say you hit the lottery, or you get some type of lawsuit, you better not tell no motherfucking body. I'm sorry for the language. You better not tell nobody that you got that lawsuit or that you won the lottery. There may be signs, but you can't tell them. You cannot tell nobody, especially your family, especially you got this in your second house. You can't, or your fourth house. You cannot tell them that you hit the lottery. You cannot tell them that you got that lawsuit, because They are going to try to hit you with the saddest sob story ever. And you might fall for it. If you do tell them that you hit the lottery or that you got some type of lawsuit, don't tell them how much money you got. You better not tell them how much money you got. Oh yeah, I got about 100,000. I got about 250,000. But in actuality, you got 5 million. Okay, you cannot tell anybody how much money you got. I know you want to tell people I hit the lottery. No, not you with the placements in there. Not the placements that I just named. You cannot tell people that you hit the lottery and how much money you cannot. You are susceptible to attracting liars and scam artists, especially your family members. Let me take it a step further. If you're a woman that has this, especially if Mars is involved, you more than likely will attract men that will try to finesse you and swindle you out of your money. So if you know you're about to get daddy's trust fund, you about to get mama's inheritance, you better not fucking tell that man that you about to get this money. I don't care if you're dating. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you've been with this man for 30 years. You cannot tell that man you're about to get daddy's inheritance or mommy's settlement. You can't. You cannot. If you do, try not to tell them how much you got. And you have to have an ironclad agreement. You with these placements, you have to have an ironclad agreement in place, a solid ironclad agreement and or a prenup agreement in place, because chances are you will attract a man that will try to swindle you out of your money. If you're a man with this placement, you're the type of man you have to, when you get married, you, especially you have to have a prenup when you get married. I don't care how fine you are. I don't care how good your stroke game is. You will attract a woman that is going to want you for your money. You probably don't have a problem with paying it. You probably one of them men that are, that's a paymaster, right? You probably one of them type of men that attract those prima donna type of women, those materialistic type of women, those women that are high maintenance. You don't mind doing it. You don't mind paying it. And that's all right. That's your business. But I'm telling you, fellas, if you have this placement, you have to have a prenup in place, because chances are, if you get married or whatever woman you decide to get with, she going to take you for all that you got. She going to try. So you got to have a prenup in place if you have this. If you have these placements, when making major purchases, you have to make sure you are doing your due diligence and doing all of the research that you need to do when it comes to buying something like a vehicle. If you're buying a vehicle and you have these placements, please take a trusted mechanical, I'm not mechanical, a mechanic with you when you're buying a car. Because if you don't know what you're doing when you're buying a car and you have displacements, you can end up buying something that you don't need, something that's a lemon or some bullshit like that, or you might end up having buyer's remorse. So make sure you have a trusted mechanic with you, or one that you can talk to when you're buying a vehicle. If you are buying property, land, a home, make sure you are doing enough research and that you have a trusted and reliable real estate agent that you're working with, like a family real estate agent or some shit like that. Like, he sold everybody in your family a house, and you can trust this real estate agent. Not no real estate agent that's going to get you to buy some bullshit that you don't need, or you're going to later on regret, and you're going to have buyer's remorse, because you can tend to have buyer's remorse when you have this placement, because you lack boundaries when it comes to spending. You can tend to overspend. You can tend to overgive. You can get swindled and scammed. And you can't, when you're making investments, you have to be careful. When you're making certain type of investments, you have to say, let me sit this one out. Let me dig and do some research. All right. I hope this helped. Let me know. All right. And yeah.